Hey, it's Dr. Amanda with Straightsmile Solutions, straightsmilesolutions.com. And I know some of you are going to hit this video and be like, what the heck? What? This is not ortho. Um, no, not everything I talk about is ortho. It all is somewhat related to ortho or the practice of orthodontics or being a dentist in the United States or being a dentist in 2025. Um, Being a female in who works in dentistry. There's a lot of things that go on throughout your career as a dentist. And me, I'm in the middle of my career. Things change. And sometimes you have to reboot and reset and make decisions as to what you want to do. Now, there's a lot of dentists out there that I call lemming dentists. They just follow the pack, and what's worked for other people works for them. And they're not trailblazers and they're not innovators. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. By all means, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. If you want to be cookie cutter and do things the way other people have historically done it, I don't have a problem with that. That's great. Not a problem. Less risk. But for me, could also just be my personality type. That was really boring. I found, and if you listened to my videos and just kind of how did I get to doing orthodontic consulting as getting myself out of an actual office? I mean, part of that was for my family, and it was a scary decision at the time. And I have some videos that I've posted on that, and if you want me to find them, I can tell you. But being married to another dentist isn't always great, to be honest. I mean, these are things we don't think about when we meet our spouse in dental school. And sometimes it's fabulous. There's a lot of people that manage to make it work, and they work together in tandem and in harmony, and they have the same office, and they have parallel schedules, and it works great for raising a family. And then there's sometimes when there's some people, and I'm not throwing anyone under the bus or anything, but I'm saying there's some spouses that they always want to have whatever they want in terms of driving the bus, and the second spouse is always left with scraps, and isn't able to do what they needed to do to really grow their part of the practice. So that was part of the reason why I left my practice and decided to do consulting instead, because I had full flexibility to do whatever I wanted, whenever I wanted, wherever I wanted, and still take care of the kids the way I wanted to raise them. And they just weren't being raised right, to be honest. No shade on people who use daycare and nannies. It just wasn't working for us. And now with one kid out of the house and the other one almost done, I'm kind of at a transition in my life where even people are asking me, someone asked me today, how much longer are you going to be doing this consulting? And my answer is, I don't know. I can say for sure I'll be doing it until summer 2027. So if you're thinking about getting consulting with me, can't guarantee this business will exist past August of 2027. That's kind of my big decision day as to when I'll start either winding down or selling this business, or maybe going back to practice. And going back to practice, my vision, and I don't want to give away my secret sauce, and I have a lot of it on there, is to do something fully removable, no braces, no surgical cases, all the fun stuff. Just removable airway, little kids. Working with the littles is so much more fun than working with the teenagers, where it's easy and it's safe and it's healthy, and just grabbing people before the problems start and making really nice faces and airways. That is my dream, and I really love teaching. I really love teaching general and pediatric dentists. That is something I enjoy. So I would love to mentor a whole bunch and actually I'd love it if the pediatric and general dentist did all the work and I was just the mentor. But anyways, how does this turn into mushrooms and Oregon? So I'll get into this. So again, I almost didn't record this, but I love to be really transparent with what I'm doing and how I come up with some of the crazy stuff I come up with. And y'all know I've invented a lot of stuff, and there's been a lot of business that has happened because I've given input, and a lot of changes in orthodontics because of me. So, good and bad, you can like it or not like it, but a lot of my thoughts come from just really a lot of meditation, a lot of walks, a lot of deep thoughts. I listen to this podcast. It's an ortho podcast. And there's a lot of ortho only podcasts that are out there. General dentists can listen to them. But, and these orthodontists were talking about how they kind of got stuck and in a rut, and they used psilocybin guided therapy. I'm not talking about going and buying things illegally and going into the woods and doing weird stuff. No, I'm not talking about. I'm talking about a full guided with therapists psilocybin research experience. So the way this works, and these orthodontists had done it, and they were talking about it on a podcast. And I to be honest, I can't remember what podcast it was and who it was, but it has been something I've been looking into. To sometimes when you get stuck in life and you're like, should I make this decision or that decision? And I'm pretty good. I'm a pretty decisive person. Like, I don't get stuck on things. So I've been stuck on this for about 5 years, and I haven't figured out what I want to do come summer 2027. So I know I'm an extremely creative person, and I come up with ideas no one else comes up with. So I found out that there's a lot. This is legal in Oregon and perhaps other states as well. I'm not sure which ones. Oregon's close to me, so or it's not far. It's easy for me to get to. So I wanted to venture into that. I've never done any type of psychedelics before. That is not me. I don't look for recreational stuff. The only reason I would do something like that was if there was a goal and there was something I was trying to understand. And your brain is a very complex organ, and there's a lot of stuff that gets hidden and buried over time. And sometimes all the answers you need are in there. You just can't find the answers because they're covered up by your ego or other things. So these orthodontists were saying they got really unstuck in their practice, and they actually became way more productive after doing a psilocybin guided therapy session. Again, this is not recreational. Big difference. This is with a therapist that understands you, has a goal. You've laid out what your goals are and your hurdles and your struggles. And then you go to Oregon, and it's a whole day, and you go in and you do the procedure and you do the post. And then for several months afterwards, you also are doing guided therapy to recap. So this actually, I was really surprised because once I found out the price point that these orthodontists were talking about, they didn't really say it ranges. But then I really dug into it. I actually am going to the same location that they went to, which has had other orthodontists. I just liked it because I found out there was a lot of doctors that go there, a lot of professionals, a lot of CEOs, C-suite members. And I was like, okay, this is where I need to be. This is not just a bunch of people going crazy, with psychedelics to be like Fantasia and Disney, like this is not the goal, or, just to be artistic. So anyways, I decided this is something I wanted to do just to help me get over this hurdle and make a decision. I have a few ideas and I think it'll help me. So I'm doing it. As a matter of fact, I'm doing it next week. So if you're wondering why my schedule looks a little bit busy next week, or you can't find an appointment, that is why, because I'm actually doing another Ortho CE class in Oregon as well. At the same time, I'm not going to tell you where, but there was another Ortho CE class I wanted to take. So I'm double booking it, going to Oregon next week. I'm doing this, and I'm going to have some answers. So I'm excited. I may not share exactly because they said it can take several months to fully debrief. But if you're stuck in your career, and you're not sure what you want to do, this price point, and I'm going to tell you what the price point was, I was actually shocked. For everything included, it ranges between $1,200 and $2,000. This is not travel, of course, but for that session, the actual day, the medicine, and the post, all included, is between $1,200 and $2,000. And it really just depends on, and some of the therapists are actual MDs, some are other PhDs, some have masters. So there's different levels, but that doesn't mean they're good or bad. It just means that maybe they have more alphabet soup behind their name. It doesn't mean they're going to be any better or worse at psilocybin preparation. But they listen to what your goals are when you do the initial intake, and then they give you one or two recommendations for who your guide will be, and then you can meet them and see if you sync up with them. So, and if for people who've maybe had trauma in their life, or maybe if you've had trauma with the opposite sex, then maybe you wouldn't want to be with somebody who's in the opposite sex because you'll be with that person the entire day. But anyways, I don't have issues with that. So, I told them just somebody that can handle all my talking because I talk a lot. So I'm nervous. I don't get nervous very often, but I just wanted to let y'all know where I'm going to be next week and what I'm doing. If you're trying to get a hold of me, there will be one day where I am off the grid, not full 24 hours, because I do promise you guys I'll answer you within 24 hours. But that day, you won't get an answer from me for about 20 hours. So don't freak out if you're looking at your secure mail. All right. Anyways, so that's what I'm up to. I will let you know if it worked. I'll probably be sending a lot of referrals their way. And by the way, no, I get no benefit from sending them referrals. It's just the benefit of knowing that I'm helping other people if I think it helps me. If I don't think it helps me, you probably won't even see the part 2 and the part 3 get posted, and I'll probably take this down. So we'll see. All right. Thanks.